Southfish family. We are trying boeuf à la mode gelée.
Wow, what does that mean?
The top of a cow's butt.
No, that's a beef roast, and it's gonna be in the middle of Jello.
Oh!
So our first step is going to take this top rump roast. It's 5 pounds of top round. And we're going to do what, Nicole?
We are going to lard it.
With this tool, this larding needle. We've never done this before.
Big piece of meat.
We've never done this before. And one problem is that we don't have pork back fat at any of our local butchers. So we're gonna go with really cheap fatty bacon and use that instead. So I have seasoned this bacon with pepper and parsley and thyme and basil and a little bit of garlic powder. And then we're gonna cut these into strips for our larding needle.
Fully admit I don't know what I'm doing. But I will say that cutting up raw bacon is very easy with kitchen shears, so keep that tip in mind.
And you've tied off our roast with string.
Another just like I'm winging it, but it said to have it in a sausage shape. That's about as good as I could do without actually cutting the meat and reshaping it, which I don't think you want to do with a roast.
Not a lot of videos on YouTube about this, so.
And the ones that we saw are in French, which doesn't, I mean.
What's the French word for make it up as you go? Oui, oui, oui.
Okay, so I've loaded my larder with some of the seasoned bacon fat, and I'm just gonna, this is what I was afraid might happen. It's like squishing out. No, that's not. It's not what we meant to do. Supposed to inject it in. So I think the idea is that this needs to be frozen. So we're gonna put this on a tray and I'm just gonna put it in the freezer for a few minutes. Okay, so our larder did not really work. I mean, we really don't have lard. That's probably the problem.
Just like this flimsy bacon.
Yeah, I tried freezing the bacon. I'm not gonna wait overnight, so I just came up with Jason and I came up with a solution to get, well, it worked a second ago. Now the camera's on, it's not working. To get
use the needle, make the hole, and then shove the bacon through with a chopstick.
The point is that we're like perforating the meat with the fat. So we're just gonna go with what we have. Geez, last time I did it was such beautiful, and now it looks like I can't do it. Well, I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna try to get a few pieces in from this end and a few pieces in from this end lengthwise.
All right, well, that was a lot harder than we thought. Maybe we don't have the right tools. We've seen some different needles that have the clamp and you push it all the way through and then you pull it through instead of trying to push. But we did get some in there and we'll go from here. We've cut up 2 onions. We've been coloring those and we're gonna do what with that big hunk of meat?
We're gonna just kind of sear it or brown it a bit on the sides. This is not the pan I'm gonna use for the braising, but this is one of those get every pan dirty dishes. They needed enough surface area. I rubbed the roast with some fresh garlic, fresh thyme, kosher salt, and fresh pepper. And so I'm just gonna rotate it and let it get some color on all sides. Okay, yet another thing that is my first time. I'm going to try to flame this with brandy.
You're not gonna flame it on the meat?
I don't know what I'm doing. Do you have to light it?
I don't know, you're gonna blow up the house?
I didn't do it. Oh, I don't know.
Was the meat supposed to be on there? Like you pour the brandy over the meat and flame it?
No.
That's what I would have thought.
Wait, why did you say woo?
Awesome. No, the point is to deglaze the pan. We just don't, we're a little short on space. So I'm gonna add all this back into, it's gonna have a lot of time to be on the meat. It
You
did
missed the
work.
flame,
It did work
Elliot.
for a second. I'm pretty impressed with myself.
I saw the flame go up like
You did?
for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Get some wine.
We're gonna add some red wine. This is gonna help also deglaze the pan, and I'm gonna let this bubble up just for a minute or two, and then I'm gonna put everything in this larger stock pot with the meat, and then we'll show you what's next.
Oh, what's that?
A cow foot.
We are going to cook a
Split
cow's
in
foot.
half.
No, I'm not going.
We're not gonna eat it. We're just
I'm not putting
using
it in.
I'm not gonna touch the cow's foot.
No.
What?
I want to touch the hook.
That is the hook.
No, like the bottom. Oh, there's blood on it. I don't want to touch it. It's got blood.
This is the ankle.
They
Let me see it. Let me show you. Come here, put it here.
And that's mostly just to get the gelatin and stuff, right? I guess. I don't know. Crazy.
Wait.
She's putting
It's
it.
so slippery.
She's
This
putting it.
is
Oh my
what
goodness.
it looked like. And it was on the leg.
All right, so we got our hooves in there. That's really all about the gelatin that gets leached out of that. And then we are going to pour beef stock to just cover the meat. And we're going to bring that to a very low simmer.
This is bouquet garni. It's an herb bouquet. I'm probably saying that wrong. Today we have fresh thyme, fresh parsley, and dried bay leaf. That's what I had. And that allows us to just fish that out, but it's going to impart lots of flavor. It looks like we need to add a little bit more stock so that we cover everything. So we're going to do that.
One thing we did not show is that we did put 2 large carrots in, and we are going to cover this with tin foil and then put a lid on it. Once it starts simmering, we want to extremely slowly because it's going to cook for 3.5 to 5 hours.
Bam, 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 bam. Bam! Bam, 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 bam.
Okay, look at that. We've got carrots boiled and it has been 5 hours.
Beautiful trio of carrots.
There's some cattle in there.
I'm gonna, ooh, look at all.
And a foot.
That's the ankle. I'm taking out the big pieces because what we want to do is strain this. I might need a little help. Let's see. The meat is very tender. I don't want to damage it. Okay. And let's bring out this other foot.
Look at that.
Oh!
Whoa, what was that?
I dropped it back in and it
Oh.
splatted me. Little eau de parfum. Later you can smell that.
Yikes.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to splat myself again. This is a bag that's actually made for making almond milk, but it's kind of like a cheesecloth stand-in. I'm gonna pour. We've taken out all the solids, so you can see here the feet and the herbs and the carrots. The idea that we want is to strain this. And I realize I might need a bigger vessel, but I'm gonna start with this. Okay. I'm gonna have to do it a couple times. So here, like, all those solids are staying here, so that's the idea.
Well, we've strained this through a cloth a few times. We are going to let it cool, and hopefully the fats will rise to the top, and then we can scrape those off.
That's what it's gonna look like.
Yeah, probably not as pretty. That's a lot nicer, but we'll find out. Alright, so it's the next morning, and here's our jelly. You can see it's really, it's jiggling a little bit, but that's not going to hold in a mold at all. So we're going to scrape this fat off.
Oh, see? That's not jelly.
Yeah. We still have the cow's feet. We're going to we read into it. We're going to reboil it with the cow's feet and give it another go. Alright, so I got the cow's hooves back in the gelatin. It's on, heating up to a boil. You could see, interesting, you can kind of tell that you can see through it. It's maybe not as clear as we'd like it, so maybe even this second step is going to help us get more, the second boil of the cow's feet is going to help clear things up too and have a more see-through final approach. We'll see how it goes. Alright gang, so you'll see it worked. We've got jelly. So we are going to melt this back down and then pour it over our meat this time. It's interesting though, it's not really see-through at all. Maybe a little, but it is what it is. At least it's jelly.
All right, so like we said before, there's not really a guidebook on this. A lot of the pictures I saw had the carrots arranged in rows, and I just decided to be a little creative since we had these pretty tri-colored carrots and make it a little cheerful carrot bed.
So we can't really find anyone talking about how you're supposed to stack this meat inside. We've seen some pictures, some just like chunking it up and some with some pretty artistic stuff, but we don't really know.
Should we do another layer of meat?
Turn out. Nicole's going with this shingle look.
I don't know what I'm doing. I just don't get it. But it's an adventure, that's for sure. Okay, so we have a couple of arrangements here. We're just going to cross our fingers. I'm a little concerned about pouring from this because it tends to dribble.
No going back now.
Here comes the magic sauce. I think we're going to be fine on the volume. We just want to make sure that we have it fully immersed. The only part about this dish that isn't that appealing to me is eating it cold.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Because it's good stuff. This tastes really good. Okay, I'm gonna go to this one and then I'll come back if there's enough to top that off.
All right. What do you guys think? Is it gonna work or is it not?
Look at the side view. It's pretty awesome. It's like a little terrarium.
Just put a Lego guy in there.
That would be awesome.
Kids would like that.
Daddy, can you please flip it over?
All right.
What I'm wondering is if we should try to like run a thin knife around the edges.
I don't know. We could try to just
See what happens.
Whop it. wop it, wop it.
You're gonna make me nervous.
Wop it, wop it, wop it, wop it, wop it.
It seems to be coming off the side.
Come on.
Wait a second.
Looks cool, but it's not really moving, is it?
Well, this I thought would be nice, but maybe something flat is better.
Just flap it upside down, hit the top.
It's like I don't want it to be a fail.
Move your fingers. I guess this is what you should do. Flop it over, hit the glass top, and
Are
go.
you just rolling? It's more filming? Okay, I'm gonna try this.
Oh no, now you're gonna ruin the spirit of whopping.
I don't know that that's. Hold on.
All right, we did get it to come out.
I just want to touch the top.
The top is nice and firm.
Hey, 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 don't touch it.
But Mom did.
Let them touch it. It's okay.
Then it feels like
Gentle.
Jello. On the sides that are like Jello,
No,
it feels
stop,
like
you
Jello.
guys. There's
Oh,
definitely
there's
some
like a
chunks.
crack. There's cracks in it. This one is definitely from the knife.
Yeah, we can see Nicole's wonderful flower design.
I'm not
That looks
sure
like
if
a
it's a
flower.
rated knife or
Oh yeah, it does.
should I go for the edge or go for the middle and then take a slice?
Edge, 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 edge.
Okay, got it. Gotcha.
No middle.
I hear you. Not sure the best way to cut this thing is.
Just go for it, I guess.
Oh, you
See,
just
it's
popped
starting-
off a carrot.
I think it's all just gonna fall apart once you start cutting it.
Yep, it does. It does.
I don't think you should cut it all the way close to the edge because I think it'll just fall apart.
Oh, and it will fall apart like this too. She's falling apart. Ah. Ah. A carrot got stuck to
It's
a knife.
funny.
A carrot got
Split it
stuck.
open so we can see inside.
Steak! Steak!
Hold up, boys. Relax.
I just want to eat the steak part.
Looks pretty cool.
I'm just going to eat the steak.
Miles.
Can you step back, baby?
Can I have a
We're gonna
piece
give
of
you a
steak?
plate.
I want steak.
Okay. No thanks, Miles.
How did that get
Hands off, Miles.
But it's a flower. Steak!
Well, that's what happens when you try to get a slice. I think that's why a lot of the plating that we saw online, leave that there, please. I'm using that. A lot of the plating that we saw online was more kind of a puddle. And I can kind of see why. Unless you had individual servings, which was another route.
My toy. This is my old toy.
I don't see how you could really get a great slice unless you had a slicer, like some kind of meat slicer.
Or maybe if the meat was already in slices inside and not
Yeah,
stacked.
but it'd be hard for the meat to be standing up and down because we couldn't support the, we would have had to somehow support it with like a toothpick or something.
Did you like that carrot?
Do you know why I'm doing this? Because I kind of like it and I kind of don't.
Oh, okay. Well, what about some of the meat or the jello? Or the jelly? It's kind of like a gravy, huh? You like that? Nice. You think that's a good dinner?
Yes.
What about the meat? You think the meat is good? You think this is a pretty good meal?
Yeah, I'm going to try the green stuff.
Oh, I don't think you like the green stuff.
Huh.
It's called parsley. I think it's just more for looks.
Ew, ew, ew.
Please use your fork.
I hate meals that use forks. You lick it. It tastes like normal jelly when you lick it. I'm gonna lick it. But the jelly is rough.
Why don't you try the meat?
So the jelly by itself first tastes like honey, and then the aftertaste is disgusting.
Miles liked it.
The aftertaste. Do you like the chicken? Hopes that steak doesn't have the aftertaste like the Jello.
What do you think?
Disgusting. I actually think steak is better on its own than encased in that type of Jello.
Well, I don't think it's steak. I think it's roast.
I like roast better by itself.
Miles, you love it, don't you? I think all of your fans out there, Miles, think that you're pretty awesome to try these crazy foods and you really like them. You've been doing it your whole life, huh, Miles? You always like it.
Don't eat it off the plate. You can eat it on your own plate, Miles.
Try it now. So Elliot didn't like it, but I think the issue might be he just doesn't like it cold or the jelly.
I don't like the jelly.
So we heated it up.
If I heat this up more, I can make a torch.
Try it now. See if you like it better warm.
Can I taste it warm?
What do you think, Elliot? Better? Oh, now he likes it. So it is a good dish. You just don't like it cold.
I want to taste it. I want to taste it more.
Okay, here.
I spit on my own hand.
Do you like it cold better or warm better? Or both?
Warm metal. Oh, but it's hard to pick up with a fork, though.
It's so tender. Try it,
So
Daddy.
I tried it, and not the biggest fan of it when it's cold. I put it in my mouth, and that jelly just kind of melted into cold, fatty liquid, and I wasn't a fan. I think I really will like the flavors and stuff, though, heated up. So I'm gonna try that. What do you think, Nicole?
Well,
Oh, mine!
I picked around. I didn't really eat like a big old bite of the gelatin, but I thought it was fine. It seems odd to eat roast and potatoes cold. It's just a little bit off-putting, but it didn't bother me as much as I thought. The texture was okay, and I thought the flavor was good.
So good, so good. I want you to melt this whole tray. Melt the whole tray. Please.
All right, so here it is what mine looks like. Heated only for about 10 seconds, so it's not like I'm trying to blast it. I'm just trying to get that jelly to melt.
But it didn't really work.
Well, I was thinking about this, and I don't know if it's worth the time and effort. I mean, we've been working on this for more than 48 hours, and so it's a lot of patience.
I think it's really worth it if you really like it cold, like a cold roast with this jelly.
I think it could be really nice if you had individual servings that were molded up in like a dome, and each person had their own. Probably not something I'd repeat, but pretty fun to see it actually turn out, because at the beginning of the video, we did not know what the heck we were doing. So this is a win, I think.
Mom goes first.
So was this fun for you guys?
No! And we didn't even do any work. So.
I know, but was it fun to eat a Jello dinner?
No, I'd rather have it just like what I have on my plate right now. Yeah. Like that. Okay. All you have to do is grab that, heat it up in the oven. There, we're done.
All right, well, do you think kids would like bouffe à la mode in Gelée?
No.
Or you just think just bouffe à la mode without the Gelée?
Bouffe à la mode. Bouffe à la mode. Not bouffe à la mode in Gelée.
All right, say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye.